Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is August 3rd. It is Wednesday, 2022. Before we get into this video, I want to remind everybody that I will be live streaming tonight at 8 p.m. And so I would encourage you to join me then. And so, first of all, I want to thank everybody also for all the advice on the what I need to do. So I do appreciate that, and I absolutely will do that, and we'll get that squared away. So anyway, I want to talk about prepping in this video. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about with prepping was that all right, let's try to figure out how I want to explain this. One of the reasons why I got into prepping is because I did not want to be one of those people on the road. Oh, thank you. You helping? Look at, she's helping. Well, you help for a minute. That's all I get. You don't pick it up and take it all the way over to the fire. All right. So, for me, I didn't want to be one of those people that if I had to, if things got to the worst case scenario, all right, I didn't want to have to be a person that was on the road with some kind of makeshift backpack, or even if you had a backpack, if you were a hiker. Most people are not hikers, so that most people don't have backpacks, or they have those little fanny, or like little packs that they put on their backs when they walk around. That ain't gonna cut it for you in an SHTF situation. But I didn't want to put myself in that position. So I did a lot of research in the beginning, and when I first got into prepping. And I know I've talked about this before, but it's been a while since I talked about this. But one of the things that I had read, was a gentleman that was a consultant for the military, and he has a bug out location, I believe in Colorado. And one of the things that he had said, which I thought was really, really profound, it really resonated with me, and it made a lot of sense when I read it, and I put it into practice, and I got thinking about it. And probably the biggest piece of advice that he gave me was, if you can live at your bug out location full time, that's the best way to go. So why is that so important? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Why living at your bug out location is so important. So first of all, when SHTF happens, I mean, we sleep at night, right? We're up during the day, we're going to work, whatever, and stuff like that. But we spend, decent amount of time away from home, or or if you're home and stuff like that. It really depends. But the chances are, when something happens, there's a pretty good chance you're going to be home. And if you are living at your bug out location, the number one thing is that your supplies are already on site. You don't have to pack up. You don't have to worry about getting to a bug out location. And that's the beauty of being able to live full time on your bug out retreat. I mean, everything's already in place. Everything is already there. You are in a lot better situation when it comes to dealing with, what's going to happen, because then you're waking up and you go, okay, it's happened. This is what we've planned for, and all of our stuff is here, and we're good to go. Now, obviously, in my situation right now, I have a lot of my supplies are in New York. I'm slowly working on getting my supplies down here to West Virginia, because this is the location that I plan on being at. So let's think about that, all right? I spend 3 weeks out of every month down here in West Virginia. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is that there's a 75% chance, if things go sideways, that I will be here in West Virginia. If I am in New York and things go sideways, I do have that location there that I could stay at if I wanted to, but I would load up as much as I could, and I would try to get down here. It's a much better place to be when SHTF happens. That's just my take on it. You know, you can think whatever you want. You know, that's your own choice. But again, if you are at your bug out location living there full time, all your supplies are there. I can remember thinking when I lived in Greece, New York, and I had my first property that was in a small town called Avoca. I own 10 acres out in the middle of the woods there. If you go back to my early videos on this channel, you will see that, that property. And what happened was, I remember thinking all my supplies were in Greece, New York, right? Living outside the city of Rochester, in the suburbs. And I remember thinking, man, if things go sideways, yeah, we got the wood stove and I got a good supply of wood here, and we would be okay, but we would have everybody and their brother seeing that we were okay, seeing if it was wintertime, we had smoke coming out of the chimney, so they knew we would be warm and stuff like that. It left us in a very vulnerable situation, where if we decided to bug out, at that point, if things went sideways while we were still living there, we would have gotten my car full and my ex-wife's car full of stuff and got it down to the bug out location at that point in time, which would not have been enough. Would not have been enough. So it was really eye-opening to me that it was really imperative to be living full-time at the bug out location. And so, you know, that's why, like, the people that are in my group, I tell them any supplies that they want to keep here, they're more than welcome to keep here. Because, again, when that time comes, whatever you got here, there's that much less that you got to worry about bringing here. And, you know, and then making it to your bug out location. I mean, you know, depending on how far away you are, depending on how early you leave in that bug out situation, that's going to make a difference. But being able to have the spot where you're living full time, and here's the other advantage of living at your bug out location full time, you don't have to worry about if SHTF happens and you get to your bug out location and somebody else has already taken up residence in your bug out location, right? They've taken it over. If you're living there full time, you don't have to worry about that. It's a huge advantage of living full time at your bug out location. And so, you know, I just there's a lot that went into the whole thought process of everything. But the last thing I wanted to do was, you know, in an extreme worst case situation, have to try to hump things out on my back and take as much as I could with me, leaving a lot of supplies behind. And that was a huge concern for me. I'm like, God, if I had to bug out of here, I would have to leave so much behind, because at that point we would have had to take in the dogs, the cats, you know, as much food, and then clothing, you know, guns and ammo, and you know, and that's going to fill up a car or two cars really, really quickly. And so it was really, like I said, that was just eating at me, and that's why I had made the decision to leave the area that we were in and to move to the other bug out location. Now, obviously, with having a divorce, it changes plans, and I had to sell the first bug out location in the divorce, but you know, then I purchased the second property, and that ended up being just a really good spot. And you know, we've obviously had that property. I've owned it for 9 years now, I believe, and lived there full time for 8 years. So, you know, then last year I came down here and I was looking for more land, looking for something more isolated, and it's exactly what I found out here. And I've just been very, very blessed to be here. Love this location. I think that it's awesome. You know, like I said, yeah, there's a lot that has to be done, but you know, over time it will come together. But you know, it's the one thing that I really want you guys to think about. And if you have a bug out location and you cannot live at your bug out location full time, don't just have like a cabin and then have your cabin fully stocked with stuff, because the chances that somebody else might get to your location before you do, there is that possibility. And again, depending on how isolated you are and stuff like that, make sure you have supplies hidden so that people can't see what you have or know what you have. There's a lot of ways to do that, obviously, but it's just proper planning. You know, I don't ever want to put myself in a situation where I'm going to be a victim. And so I'm going to give myself every tactical advantage that I can. Location is obviously key. It's very, very important. You know, the chances of surviving long term here as opposed to somebody living in the city are absolutely increased 1,000-fold, because the city would be a nightmare, especially in an SHTF situation. But where out here in a location like this, your chances go up exponentially. Now, you better know what you're doing. You better have things in place. You better have supplies on hand, a power source, you know, and, you know, hopefully all those things that you're going to need. But really important. What, baby girl? Huh? You're a good girl. Yes, you are. So anyway, guys, I want to hear your feedback on this. What are your thoughts about living full-time at your bug out location, you know, as opposed to staying where you are and having a bug out location and working on supplying it, making sure your supplies are safe there, and all those type of things. So anyway, I am going to jump off of here for now. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. I hope you guys are having a good week. Remember, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we could ever figure that one out, we'll be in much, much better shape. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day, tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important to tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only person that's going to stop you from reaching that goal is you. That's it. Nobody else. If you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. All right? Keep prepping. Keep getting ready, guys. And I will see you on the next video. I'll see you tonight for the live stream at 8 p.m. All right? Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.